with all the stories making the headlines at home and around the world. It's the ITV News.
Europe must be ready to fight, says the Prime Minister, as he warns the solidarity of peace is softening. Sir Keir Starmer was speaking this morning at a global security conference where he said working together is the only option.
In a dangerous world, we would not take control by turning inward. We would surrender it.
We're live at the Munich security conference, also on the programme.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
ITV News uncovers recordings of Ghislaine Maxwell being quizzed about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And GB's Matt Weston's joy after sliding to gold at the Winter Olympics.
I was crying quite a lot in my helmet and trying to compose myself, but then as soon as I got back up and I saw loads of my family and friends, I kind of went again. I had no control over that emotion. It kind of just all flooded out.
This is ITV News.
With Cari, Davies.
Good afternoon. ITV News has uncovered 2 recordings in the Epstein files which show Ghislaine Maxwell being asked about allegations against Jeffrey Epstein. They appear to be depositions where a witness gives evidence to lawyers under oath but without a judge present. The videos from 2016 had previously not been made public. Sam Holder has more.
Did Mr. Epstein ever ask you?
Hidden in the millions of Epstein files are videos Ghislaine Maxwell fought to keep secret.
There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
They appear to come from deposition hearings in 2016. Her answers, evasive at best.
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
Okay, I'll begin, please. Sure. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
Can you ask it a different way?
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
If you know.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
The hearings were part of a defamation case brought by Virginia Giuffre, one of the most well-known accusers. She claims she was trafficked by Maxwell and Epstein and abused by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He denies the allegations. Maxwell's lawyers had fought for the videos to remain hidden. While the transcripts were unsealed in 2020, the clips have never been seen by the public before.
So never in your time at any of Jeffrey Epstein's homes were you present when a female under the age of 18 was there to give Jeffrey Epstein a massage?
Object to the Foreman's Foundation.
First of all, as I said, when I was
No,
present...
it's a yes or no answer.
No,
Please
it is
give me-
not a
it
yes
is
or
yes.
no answer.
You can answer the question in full, but please provide a yes or no as an initial matter.
I cannot answer a yes or no question to that question because it's not bounded by any time and it's not bounded by anything.
Amongst the mountain of millions of documents and images in the Epstein files, this was found last week. It is Maxwell in a prison cell. Despite her answers in 2016, just 4 years later, she was arrested and then sentenced to 2 decades behind bars. Sam Holder, ITV News.
Of course, the royals have been under pressure following new disclosures about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in the Epstein files. Our team has an in-depth analysis of all the latest on the Talking Royals podcast.
British police confirm they've spoken to prosecutors about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Don't forget we've now got 2 assessments going on by the police.
And Prince William plays the statesman in Saudi Arabia. But can he escape the shadow cast by his uncle's connections?
Was the trip overshadowed? Absolutely.
Well, completely.
Absolutely it was.
You can watch the full programme with Chris, Lizzie and Charlene on ITVX, on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Sir Keir Starmer has called for the UK to align itself more closely with Europe at a time when he says the solidarity of peace is softening. Addressing the Munich Security Conference, he also announced a new naval deployment to the Arctic, describing it as a powerful show of Britain's commitment to Euro-Atlantic security. It's after the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said the US and Europe belong together during his remarks. Our global security editor, Rohit Katru, is in Munich. So, Rohit, is this gathering all about fostering better relationships and repairing the relationships between Europe and the US?
Well, I think it's less about repairing those relationships as completely resetting them, because, you know, this is conversations that are happening against two backdrops, not just the war in Ukraine, but also the change which began here in the US-European relationship. It was at this event 12 months ago where the US Vice President announced a new world order, and all around us you can see the European leaders almost moving through these stages of grief, and now they're at acceptance, accepting that this is the way the world looks. And we saw a new tone from Keir Starmer, a more detailed analysis about his foreign policy outlook today. This is the first sort of speech of this type that made since the departure of Morgan McSweeney, his chief of staff, and so now free of his influence. But I think what was most striking was the round of applause he got in this room, this friendly audience, when he talked about the need for closer alignment with Europe.
Now, we are not the Britain of the Brexit years anymore, because we know and that is because we know that in a dangerous world, we would not take control by turning inward. We would surrender it.
And of course, another key speaker here, the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who sort of reimagined the Donald Trump view of Europe. He actually called the US a child of Europe, talking about alignment, but making clear that, you know, the old world order has changed and that Europe really now is going to have to work with less assumptions, with less assurances, and which perhaps less subsidies from the United States as well.
Okay, Rohit in Munich, thank you. Canada's Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has attended a vigil following Tuesday's mass shooting at a school in British Columbia. Hundreds of people gathered to mourn the 8 people who were killed in the town of Tumbler Ridge, 6 of them children, in what is one of the worst such tragedies in Canada's history. Philip Syme reports.
They came together in the cold, confronting the darkness of what happened here just 4 days ago.
I've sat with families, first responders, friends, neighbors, who've had to live through something that no one should ever have to endure. And when we leave here tonight, and some of you go back to quiet houses, some of you go back to empty rooms, please know that you're not alone.
Police suspect 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar of carrying out the attack. A rampage which began in a family home and ended in the town school. 8 lives were taken, the suspect's mother and stepbrother, 5 school children aged between 12 and 13, and their teacher. Van Rootselaar was found dead too, the result, police believe, of a self-inflicted wound. Investigators are still trying to find a motive. For the people of Tumbler Ridge, though, none could justify the violence visited upon their town's most innocent. Philip Syme, ITV News.
Police searching for the missing mother of an American TV presenter have been active at a location around 2 miles from her home. Armed police and forensics officers have been seen in the area. Yesterday, investigators said they found a stranger's DNA at the home of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, who vanished 2 weeks ago. French multiple rape survivor Gisèle Pellicot has said she felt overwhelmed and honoured after receiving a personal letter of support from the Queen. Camilla, who has long campaigned against domestic violence and sexual abuse, praised Miss Pellicot's extraordinary dignity and courage. And a yellow warning for snow and ice stretching from Derby to Scotland will come into force this evening. The Met Office said snow in areas affected might be heavy at times and said it could cause some disruption to travel. Right now, in a traditional religious ceremony harking back centuries, Richard Moth is being installed as the new leader of Roman Catholics in England and Wales. In a public show of humility, the 12th Archbishop of Westminster knelt outside in the cold before entering Westminster Cathedral's Great West Door with a formal service. Our reporter Stuart Robson is there. Stuart, a very significant moment for many in this country.
Yes, absolutely. This is something that's happened here since 1850, an event of religious, cultural and historic significance. And on a beautiful day here in Westminster, hundreds of people queued up just behind me, waiting to bear witness to the installation of Westminster's new Archbishop. Now, Richard Moth made his way to the front doors of the cathedral to begin today's proceedings, a day that he said that, of course, that he was looking forward to. But it was an appointment by Pope Leo that he said he was moved greatly by. And as you said, before entering the church, he knelt at the steps and no doubt tried to take in the significance of what was about to happen. And officially, shortly after midday, is when proceedings began. Now, he takes over the head of the Catholic Church in England and Wales from Cardinal Vincent Nichols, who held the role here since 2009. Now, as well as members of the public being able to come and witness the installation, we understand that the new Archbishop of Canterbury was here, as well as other members from other faiths across London. But today the focus is on the ceremonial and, of course, the theological aspects of this installation. The installation of an Archbishop, the 12th of Westminster, in the 175-year history.
Stuart, thank you very much. Team GB are celebrating their first medal of the Winter Olympics after Matt Weston took Britain's first ever gold in the men's skeleton yesterday evening. It's the dramatic sport that Lizzie Arnold took gold in at previous games, where sliders race downhill on ice at breakneck speeds on something that looks like nothing more than a tea tray. This year's champion has been speaking to Jay Akbar.
Who's been keeping it very safe.
I haven't been given a box for it yet, so it's still in a. This is my medal sock, so it's not all glamorous, but it's yeah. I'm very, very proud of this piece of metal. Crying quite a lot in my helmet and tried to compose myself, but then as soon as I got back up and I saw loads of my family and friends, I kind of went again. I had no control over that emotion. It kind of just all flooded out.
All the more impressive considering Matt took up the sport 9 years ago after an injury ended his Taekwondo career. He hopes his success will inspire others to follow suit.
We've opened our doors for new guys and girls to come and try out and see if you've got the potential to go to see if you'd be good at basically being a professional penguin. Yeah, no, I'm so pleased that I gave it a go and grabbed that opportunity with both hands.
A very impressive penguin. And finally, the Prince and Princess of Wales have released a new photograph to mark Valentine's Day. The photo shows the couple together in Norfolk and was taken in April last year. It's the second time William and Kate have marked the holiday, writing Happy Valentine's Day on their social media post alongside a love heart. What else? That's all for now. Our next bulletin is at 11 tonight because of the rugby, but of course you can get the latest anytime on ITVX or on our website. Bye-bye.